Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the judge in Trump's hush money case really just crossed the line. This case is dying, and this judge, he's killing it. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Now, before I say anything, I'm going to let you know that at the end of me talking here, I'm going to have you listen to a legal expert weigh in on this. But Judge Juan Merchan appears to be tag teaming with Alvin Bragg and the prosecutors against Trump. They're in court, and they're talking about adding documents that were given by Weisselberger, who was the CFO of the Trump organization. And the judge says to the plaintiffs, to the state, the prosecutors. Now get this. The judge says to the prosecutors, you know, you really should bring up Weisselberg as a witness after you present this evidence. What? You're recommending witnesses to the prosecution? This guy is a walking, talking appeal machine. If Trump is convicted in this trial, there's like at least 10 grounds of appeal that I've counted that just came from the judge. And his handling of this case, absolutely ridiculous. Could you imagine, what is this, a court in a one-horse town in the South in 1950, like the Andy Griffith Show, where the prosecutor and the judge are friends? I mean, and I love the Andy Griffith Show, but Andy was at least fair. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This reminds me of My Cousin Vinny, where the judge was basically on the same team as the prosecutors, right? Crazy. I want you to listen to this legal analyst talk about it and let me know what you think when you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
This Monday. So let's bring in Jonathan Turley, constitutional law attorney, GWU law professor, and a Fox News contributor. Jonathan, great to have you with us as always. I just want to give people a couple of examples of Michael Cohen, because I think some people may have forgotten what he looks like and sounds like. So here he is on MSNBC, and then let's roll right into Michael Cohen on TikTok.
I don't care how the media wants to portray him. He's credible. Whatever happened in the past, whatever I had owned, and the things that I claim I shouldn't have been charged with, is irrelevant in this case.
They violated my First Amendment constitutional right, remanded me back to Otisville because I refused to waive that constitutional protection. My problem? It's not just on me. Whatever they did to me, understand, if God forbid Trump comes back to office, he can do it to you.
Okay. Cohen also has hinted at running for Congress in New York. He's worked for Trump for 12 years. He went to Cooley Law School, I looked up today, which is a small law school in Michigan. Jonathan Turley, what do you make of what happened today from the judge and the limit to which he may have restricted Cohen from speaking in the couple of days in between now and Monday?
Well, you know, I would not have imposed a gag order on Cohen. That's not the problem. The problem is the gag order on Trump. You know, you're supposed to impose gag orders with a great deal of reluctance and in a very narrow way. You don't just hand them out and silence everybody, including witnesses. And I think the problem here is that it's not clear what the judge is protecting against. I mean, Cohen's out there, attacking the president, campaigning against the president. People are attacking Cohen. What are you protecting against? He's in the middle of a firestorm of his own creation. And so the gag order makes no sense at all. It's achieving nothing except silencing the leading candidate for the presidency. And to have this sudden epiphany that just maybe Cohen should be instructed not to make these statements is a bit late. I mean, he's closing the door after the horse is gone. I mean, this is the weekend before he appears on the stand. So I would have expected at a minimum that the judge would have been very clear at the beginning of the case that these witnesses are asked not to make public statements. But I tend not to like gag orders generally, and I certainly don't like the one against Trump, which is poorly written, and I think it is unconstitutional.
You know, it was interesting. At the end of the day, right before they broke, there was Judge Merchan raised the possibility of calling former Trump Organization chief financial officer Alan Weisselberg who is serving a 5-month sentence right now for perjury. He was the top financial executive in the Trump organization. What was that all about? And is that unusual for the judge to suggest that?
Yeah, it's very unusual. It reminds me of a judge when I started out as a lawyer. He was notorious because he would say, is the defense ready to present its case, and turn to the prosecutors and say, are we ready to present our case? And, you know, this is a little bit crossing the line. You're not supposed to be making this a mutual effort. But I expect when people see Cohen on the stand, they're going to wonder, how are you out of jail? I mean, you know, all of the testimony of these witnesses has been focusing on Cohen. It's his legal advice. He's trying to put his client away for following his legal advice. And there's no evidence so far that the president made any decision to hide this as legal expenses. The term legal expenses has been used widely, including by the Clinton campaign, to cover things like funding the Steele dossier. There's a continued debate as to whether this shouldn't be treated as a legal expense. But, you know, Bragg hasn't even suggested, what is he supposed to denote it as? I mean, avoidance cost? I mean, it doesn't have any relevance legally. But there's going to be a moment
They wanted it to have an item
Cohen...
line that said, hush money for Stormy Daniels, I guess, right?
Yes.
But
apparently you didn't have to... Yeah, apparently he had to not just denote it that way, but somehow put it on the pages of the New York Times. You know, no one knows what he was supposed to do, but there's going to be a moment after Cohen testifies which will determine really how much of a judge this is. Yeah. Because after the prosecution closes, the defense will move to dismiss this case, and Merchant should dismiss it, and we will see.
You know, there's so many people who, you know, are smart and follow a lot of what's going on, but don't have time to follow everything here. And they are under the impression that, you know, having an agreement to bury a story between two parties is illegal, that's the crime here, because that's all anyone has heard about, you know?
Right. NDAs are common in Congress, and they're common in business. There's nothing unlawful. And that jury has been hearing that there were federal campaign violations, suggesting that Trump committed such a violation. He didn't. And as you noted earlier, the Department of Justice passed on this. They didn't even fine him for this denotation. Yeah. But the judge has allowed that jury to think that there is a campaign finance violation being hidden in all of this.
Well, you know, you hear all sides of this that's in everybody's ears, and the jury's, their ears are the ones that matter in this situation. And we don't know how they're taking all of this in. And much has been said about the fact there are two attorneys on there. We don't know what their predilection is or how they're viewing this. Attorneys see things lots of different ways. So we'll see. Jonathan Turley, thank you very much. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Martha.
So just moments ago, Republican Congressman Corey